Welcome back. We continue the discussion. I'll be coming back to you, Mr. Jack Sime. Thank you for giving us the background of what we are talking about, the industrial framework, and part of the strategic actions intending to see how to utilize the opportunity of being part of the ESC and also to steer up commercialization of agriculture. Mr. Paul Kundo, being the coordinator for the Ugandan chapter, would like to hear much more of your experience in this process of especially inspiring the whole population, but now today that as well you represent the youth and they have a bigger percentage, it looks to be to most of the youth, especially those who happen to go to school, they are graduates, either holding diploma certificates, and others either they finish senior 6, senior 4, tend to discredit, not to appreciate agriculture, commercial agriculture as a sector or as an activity that can enable them to prosper. Maybe you have the experience to share with us and also to highlight some of the challenges and how the youth outside there and the population can overcome it, support agriculture as our icon for improving or boosting the export trade.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, my name is Paul Kundo. I'm the chapter coordinator for the East African Youth Network, but also I am involved in the export trade, mainly for agricultural products, under the company that I started called Itemba AgroFresh. Mainly, to get back to your question, of course, the sector, we all know that our economy is an agricultural economy, where almost all of us depend on the foods, on the agricultural produce that we actually produce at our homes. But the challenge has been we are producing subsistently. We haven't moved to commercial level. And even when we have tried to move to the commercial level, still there is a question of to what extent and what are we producing for that commercial agriculture. For example, when we talk of doing agriculture to export, we are looking at competing with some other countries that are actually serious with the agriculture that they are doing. Because through experience, we have been in this field of exporting agricultural products, but you find that at our level, the avocado that is produced in this country, mainly cannot compete with an avocado produced in Kenya. Kenya is just part of us as East Africa, but you find that most of the players, especially the buyers, normally come, exhaust the market of Kenya, then they come for Uganda. After exhausting other markets, that's when they come for our markets, mainly because of what we are producing, what we are presenting at the international markets. But the whole point of the substandard products that we normally come up with in the international markets,
Uganda.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Our challenge has been, I don't want to say that government has not been intentional to make sure that we improve the sector. There are some efforts that they are actually coming up with. But to a larger extent, I will also believe that we are not serious. I'll give you an example. There is a time there are some friends of ours who came from Malaysia. So they wanted pineapples. So they came because I normally advertise what I do using social media and all that. So we met on social media, Twitter, then we connected. They came in the country looking for market for pineapples.
Pineapples.
Yes, and we sat. What was interesting is that this was a family where they have been in the trade of pineapples for over 200 years, generations to generations.
From India?
Yes, from Malaysia.
From Malaysia?
Yes. So they are based in Dubai. That's where they are taking their pineapples, then distribute to some other countries. So we sat and we agreed that I'm going to be supplying them. They first gave me to supply them 5,000.
First time fresh pineapples?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They asked me to supply them 5,000 pineapples.
Okay.
Of course, we had to first look at the market in the country, the production line, and we all know that we normally get our pineapples from Kayunga, Ruwero, Ntungama, and all that. Mm-hmm. So I visited Ruwero. I stayed there for 2 days, looking for 5,000 pineapples. I failed to get
tons of
5,000 pineapples. Of course, a pineapple would be weighing around
1, 2, 3, 4
kgs. So the tonnage is big, but I failed to collect 5,000 pineapples because
from where?
Yes, because the specifications they were looking at, we couldn't meet them. And when I interacted with the farmers, I realized that for them, they plant the sacks of the pineapples and go home and come back at the harvesting time.
We are going to go into commercial.
Yes.
And so we go to calculation.
Okay.
How much was to be per each pineapple according to that market?
Yes. The negotiation was, I was getting the pineapple from, I was selling them at 1,200. So I was picking it from Ruel at 700, then plus the transport cost of 100 per pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
So I was making a margin of like 400 per pineapple.
Then you sell to the company at how much?
I sell it at 1,200, but I get it from the farmer at 700.
To the
Then to the
company.
Then for them they are selling it the other side, because we also normally take our pineapples at $5
$5 per pineapple.
per pineapples.
That's
Yes.
what the Malaysian company was to give.
Was to
To offer,
to offer them if they take them to the other side.
The other side.
Yes, but for me, I was getting 1,200 by transporting the pineapple to their company, which they had actually established in Jinja. They established stores in Jinja.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was a collection center, and for them they were taking to Dubai and supplying also to Malaysia.
Using which means of transport?
They were using sea. Yes, they were using ships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, for us to benefit from this trade, or from the agriculture that we want really to have, and it benefits both the trader and also the farmer, we must be intentional on what we want to come up with at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You can't go to the garden, plant, and go and leave the garden take care of itself. Then you come back at the end of the day and you want quality products. You will definitely have to sell within the country, because in most cases when we are sorting these products of taking abroad, the rejects, what we think that can't go to the international market, is what we sell to our Ugandans.
I want to first take the keen interest, step by step, and you are still the one taking us through. A pineapple, by each pineapple, $500 US, right?
Yes, $5. Yes, each.
Times 3,700.
Yes.
That is how much the economics. I have seen you are business financial managers.
That is 5 times 3.
37. That's around
37.
Close to 20,000, 18 something.
20,000.
Yeah.
That's the other side.
Yes.
So by the time now to go to the sea, if the farmer, you who is the middle, you are a middle person in that way.
Yeah, you can call me middle person.
Yeah. You will get how much?
Of course, for me,
Because the other side is $5.
$5. Yeah.
Then you now, what are you going to get before it goes?
Before it goes, me I'm getting 400.
Yes, you are getting
400 Uganda shillings per
400
pineapple.
per pineapple.
Yes.
Then if you export,
If I export myself,
Mm.
that means I'm also getting it at less at like $0.2, and I'm selling it at $5.
the transport cost, but
Of course,
when
yeah.
it reaches there, because
Of
we
course.
want to do business today, we are serious.
Yes. So if you buy a pineapple here
Mhm.
at $0.2,
Yes.
then you remove like close to $1.2 for
Mhm.
freight rates, the freight rates.
Uh-huh.
Then you remove like packaging, because we normally buy packages. Then packaging is also like 0.02.
We are together.
Yes.
Mhm.
Then some clearing, costs at the airport and all that,
Mhm.
which is also around 0.02 or 1,
Yes.
depending on the tonnage that you have.
Then the total cost.
Then you realize that,
the transport cost,
Yeah.
all those costs.
yes,
Add them, then we see the difference.
you realize that you have close to $3.1 as your profit.
$3.1.
Yes,
As a cost or as a profit?
as a profit
When you subtract the $5 minus the cost.
minus the cost.
So you remain with three
Yes,
three
that is per kg
per kg.
or per pineapple.
Of which kind of kilogram? Because I've also seen pineapples in the market, as you said, that they didn't find our pineapples matching with what they want. What do they want?
So mainly what they want, they want a pineapple with no sunburns, that is not hit by sun. When the sun hits a pineapple,
Fine.
it puts there some it changes its
yellow,
color.
yeah.
Yeah, that yellow color.
Mhm.
So they don't want a pineapple
Want
with
a green
sunburn.
one.
Yeah. Then they don't want a pineapple with some holes. You know, there are some
That
insects
by
which normally
insects, yes.
which normally eats. So they don't want a pineapple with some holes. Then mainly they are looking at
What about
a
the
certain
size?
size.
Yes.
A certain size. Mainly they want close to 1.7, 1 to 1.7.
Big one. This one which I've seen at
It's a medium. Because the big one goes around 3 or 2 point something kg.
So how can one attain that?
So this begins with how you monitor your garden.
You know, today you are an educator, an agriculture educator as well. Yes. How can one attain that? Because one can spot someone there. I want to go to farming myself.
Yeah,
I go buy land. Yes.
Yeah. Of course, this begins with how you plant your pineapple.
Yes.
How you monitor it. The amount of water you feed that pineapple. You see, here we do things accidentally. We just go plant without even clear knowledge of what is required. Because a plant that you give, let's say, 2 liters of water, and another one you give it 1 liter of water, you will get a difference in size.
You are talking of irrigation.
Yes, when you are irrigating your plant.
Yes.
Because after planting, make sure that the water you give this plant is the same water you give this plant. The heat, they share the same heat, because for the heat will depend on the sunlight. So, but for water, when you are irrigating, don't give a plant 2 liters, then the other one you give it 3 liters. The plant will produce a different shape of a product. And these people are very intentional. Even in the area of avocado, we are forced now to abandon the traditional avocados that we have been having, and we are moving now to a new product called Hass avocado. Because like now in Kenya, Hass avocado is they call it actually green gold.
How long does it take to plant pineapple? Then you are taking us to another enterprise, which is avocado.
Yes. For a pineapple, it takes around, you plant it like now, then you count like 3 months for it to start flowering. Then within like another 3 months, it is now developing and growing. Then within like other 3 months, it is now coming out. Close to like 9 months.
1,000 pineapple kgs, how it can multiply which level? I mean the acreage or
the 1,000 pineapples. The spacing, well, of course,
I've started
you can use the 1 acre
of
model.
course, yeah, you can use the 1 acre model. I think 1,000 can fit on an acre.
1,000 pineapples.
Yeah, can fit on an acre.
So that means after 9 months, I can get 3,000 USA dollars.
Yeah.
When times
It's around 10 to 11 million.
that's around 11 million on an acreage.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. We are talking business, dear viewers. As you see us, we are dealing with the subject matter of commercial agriculture and innovation. Continue and give us the information. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So the Hass avocado, the green gold.
Yeah, I was actually now shifting to green gold,
Yes.
which I've actually also tried to plant. And the model I'm using is that, because like the way you said, most of the young people don't have land. So the model we are using is that we are mobilizing families in Ukunjiri, where I come from. We mobilize young people. Well, actually what we did, we selected young people from each sub-county. We get like 2 young persons. We actually trained them. We brought them to Mitiana. There is a farmer there.
How many do you train? I will be going into statistics.
Yes, we trained 2, where we have 16 sub-counties in the district. So
16 sub-counties.
yes. So we picked 2 per sub-county. Those are 32. 32 young persons. So we trained them on how Hass avocado works, how the planting should be, how the management should be. Of course, the training was also offered to us as the national chapter of the network. There is a private person who is actually doing some serious farming in Mitiana. He's actually Kenyan. He actually got us seedlings from Kenya. He brought us seedlings, which we actually supplied to these young persons, and they have started planting now. So our target is, after every 3 months, we monitor how the gardens are performing. After every 3 months, we keep monitoring how the gardens are performing. Then we also get to know what to add on and what to subtract. But has takes around 3 years to give us results, to give us the products that we really want. Yeah, so in doing so, we are trying to create, to have our own production so that we can feed the market that we are having, because it is overwhelming. Honestly, for us avocado, if there is any viewer there that is actually watching us,
and you avocados,
yes, and you have has avocado now, tomorrow let's meet to do business, because the market that we have for us avocado.
So you leave your contact, but
you
also
can't
pay for the announcement. Yeah, go on.
The market for us avocado, it's so big. It's so big to the extent that even in Kenya, government has to come in and say, we feel like you have exhausted this market. You are now actually taking the avocado that is not yet mature enough. So we are actually suspending any export of us avocado for this period, when we shall be sure that now there is enough, supply. There is enough production of us. Then we invite people to take, because now Kenya, I think Netherlands is the leading importer of us avocado in Kenya.
How is that avocado? It's a type.
And yeah, it's a type. And surprisingly, if you look at it, you can't even believe it's a very small avocado. Oh. Very, very small. Like a kilo, 3 avocados make a kilo, 3 or 4. Yeah, but in Europe, it is the green gold.
How much?
They really like it so much.
How much a kilo in Europe?
A kilo in Europe, you find that a kilo is around $7, because it is so much selling there.
When you put on the cost, how much?
Okay, when we are getting back to the calculation. Yes.
So
if I negotiate at $7, that means I'll be removing.
That's
the
$7 is 20.
It's close to 20 or
25.
Yeah.
20.
So we are removing because now the rate to Europe is a bit high. The one for Dubai was around was around 1.2. So this one we have 1.79 or 1.8, depending on the airline that you use. So here we are remaining with around 5.3. Then we remove like the 0.1 packaging cost for packaging per kilo. We are counting per kilo, because $7 is for per kilo. Then we are removing like 0.2 for the other costs like transportation. There are some other, the costs that you incur when you are, like the pack house. We normally pay for pack houses because this is export business. We are serious. So we have a pack house where we sort and clean our products so that we don't export products that are of substandard. Because the standard not only stops at what you produce, but how is it looking like? How is it presented? So we clean, we sort, we remove the best of the best. It's what we export. So you remove the cost of the pack house, around 0.2. Then we remove the cost of the clearing at the airport. Normally it's around 0.02 or so. So you find at the end of the day, you are making a profit of around $5 per kilo.
$5 per kilo.
Then now imagine you have exported around 3 tons, 4 tons. You're a billionaire.
Yes. And they want the fresh. Would you tell us about the storage? Because the two enterprises we talked about, the citizens outside there, they are just worried about the storage.
Yeah.
Before you finish, one time I was just traveling from your land to Kunji, and I just felt moved to buy some bunch of avocado on the way, and I said this is good, but just after one day they were all ripe.
Yeah. So I think
the issue is storage to reach the market.
Okay, now, of course, this is a business for perishables. So what happens, the reason why we have these pack houses, actually they are regulated by the ministry. For you to own a pack house, the ministry must give you a license to own one. And some of the things that they are looking at are the storage facilities that you have. We have things we call cold rooms. So when we get these products from the gardens, we now bring them to this pack house where they are stored in cold rooms.
In Uganda, how many do you have?
The pack houses. We have a quite number of them. So far, I don't know a number, but I have visited close to like 3. There is one in Entebbe, in Kauku, as you are heading to Entebbe airport.
Yes.
Then there's one here in Rubaga. Those are the ones that I've visited. So, but they have cold rooms where we store those products. Even when we are packing them, the product is picked from those cold rooms. It is put in the box is sealed, it is again stored in the cold room. Of course, the airlines we use, they also transport them in their cold rooms. Yeah, to keep them fresh. But of course, being perishables, when we are planning our consignment, when we are planning to send our consignment, we make sure that the moment harvesting happens, we don't take 2 days before we send the product. Yeah, you make sure that you plan very well that today I'm going to get a product. Harvesting will happen today during the day. In the night, we travel with the product to the pack house. Then immediately that night, we put the product in the pack house, in the cold rooms, so that it keeps fresh. So by the time we pack and export, the product is still fresh. Yeah. So that's the process of how we maintain our product in a fresh way.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kundo. I'll be coming to you. We're dealing with one of the pillar called agro-processing, but basically storage and marketing. And agro-processing, we'll also look at that later. I'm coming back to you, Mr. Jack, to see me. You see, you are coordinator.
Yeah, I wanted
to doing well
to interject on my coordinator. He's doing a good work. But my field is chemical engineering.
Yes.
And for us, what we believe in, we appreciate these guys who export raw materials. But for us, we encourage young people to join innovation and add value to their products. Whereas he's giving us the mathematics of the profits he's getting by exporting the raw material, I would also encourage him to venture into value addition, because I know what we are doing as the East African community is that we are trying to bring infrastructure in terms of power, in terms of transportation. We have airlines all over now, and we are now having a bigger market. If he should know that DRC here in Kinshasa, they are importing beef from Brazil. So if we had some young people here who would maybe make sausages and have, or we can invest in bull fattening and maybe send beef to DRC, it will be a good thing. And another thing is that the shift should be now on value addition.
I'll be coming
because
yes,
I don't want to go into your questions before I tell you that, for example, in the milk industry here, if you look at, if you were to export 1 liter of milk without adding value to make cheese, to make the casein Mzee was talking about, and powdered milk, you'll find that you're making a lot of money irrespective of the cost of production, which the EAC is working on. And I may be also to applaud him on the issues of standards, because he has brought it very well that we are focusing on standards in the EAC. We have the East African Bureau of Standards. Yes, it is doing a good work with very few challenges. But what he's talking about is that the young people out there who are investing in farming and trade must focus on standards. Don't just produce something just for just. Make sure you follow the standards, and these standard operating procedures are there, laid, but we don't want to invest in as young people. And remember, we have left that analog kind of doing work. We are now using technology to ensure that we do modern farming. And when he talked about standards, I applauded him for that. Then he talked about, of course, the issue of cold rooms.
Mr. Jack, you are going
wait,
to allow us
let me say this. Let me say this final one.
Yes.
For the cold room, I support him. The government should come in. You know, governments should come in and support these farmers. It is very hard to operate a cold room. So I think the governments and maybe the EAC should bring those infrastructures closer to the young people to just facilitate their trade and ensure that they
Okay, let's go for the commercial break. Thank you so much. You will have more time from the commercial break. We internalize, I have some question, you saw it.
Yes.
And we will handle everything. Please stay tuned. We are coming back. Don't go away.
Thank you.
SMART24